Morning! It's 11:14 a.m. We slept quite nicely. Actually, we slept alright. We'll use the restroom here with it. Yep, beautiful. Alright. So we need to check on our download. We need to figure out processing today. We also need to fix one of the radio antenna servers. I don't remember which one, but one of them. And we need to clean up some of the trash. Pretty easy day today. I also need to figure out how this works eventually, but yeah, so this is a radar. I'm sure that I'll figure it out eventually. And so how's our download? Not done because it's something happened. That's alright. We can fix it. We can fix it. Yeah, I want to figure out... I think I saw processing somewhere in here. Yeah, okay, so we want a processing level. And we still have 39 points, so we'll also get a download speed, I think. Yeah. I think that's pretty good. And so... is that what we needed to get this to work? Alright. Yes, perfect. Okay, cool. So that's processing. And we'll get some of that later. So yeah, what we're going to be doing is getting some servers fixed up, like this one. 8 plus 3 is 12. 3 minus 8 would be -5. 2 plus 3 is 5. 0. I hit 9 instead of 0. I need to figure out a better way to do all this stuff. I'm not very good at math. 4 plus 7 would be 11. 8 plus 2 is 10. 0 minus 0 is 0. 1 minus 8 is 7. 9 plus 7 would be 16. 9 plus 1 would be 10. 8 minus 9 would be 1. And 8 minus 8 is 0. Cool. Alright, we fixed it. Alright, so... I know that one of these servers is mad. I think it was Bravo, if I remember correctly. And so we're going to figure out if that is the case. Yes, it is. So we're going to go to fix Bravo. SV.target Bravo. So we'll head out and do that. And then, oh, another broken server. 8 minus 4 would be 4. 1 plus 0 is 1. 4 minus 3 is 1. 1 plus 9 is 0. 7 plus 7 would be 14, 7 plus 2 would be 9, 6 plus 4 would be 10, and 1 plus 2 is 3. Perfect. Okay, cool. So, yeah, what we're going to do is head to Bravo, and then, oh yeah, we also need to, go to Charlie, Papa, and Kilo. So, Bravo, Charlie... Papa, Kilo, base. I think that's pretty easy. I'm gonna drop off this drive. So we're going to Bravo first, then we'll go to Charlie. Easy enough. Get back, we'll clean up some trash, I think. Okay, alright. How are we doing? Fuel, we need a little more fuel. Okay. I swear there's a way to rob that, but that's okay. We'll just place it. Alright. Make sure I locked my door. I don't want to... I didn't lock the door. And away we go. Oh. Now we go. So, last time we were talking about Jansky's discoveries, and while those were really... What the heck? What? Oh. Sure. I have a pine cone now. So Jansky discovered radio astronomy, and that was an amazing discovery, but afterwards, radio astronomy was largely ignored over the next decade or so. It really wasn't because of a lack of technology to support it. It was much more... It's Bravo? Yeah, it is. It was much more because war was looming. World War II, really. And we did see a lot of technology, a lot of radio technology, because radio's communications, but in war, radio, we found that you could use it for much more than just communications. So in World War One, it was used to detect lightning, because lightning meant storms. Storms were things that we needed to warn airmen about. So let's do this. 3, 5, and 6 is 11. 3 minus 9 would be 6. This one is 9. 1 plus 4 would be 5. 7 plus 3 is 10. 9 plus 3 is 12. 8 plus 7 would be 2 and 15. Oh, I got it wrong. 0 minus 1 is 1. 4 minus 6 would be 2. 6 minus 2 would be 4. 5 minus 2 would be 3. 3 minus 5 would be 2. 8 minus 2 would be 6. 5 minus 5 is 0. 3 minus 9 would be 6. That's better. Alright, so I'm sure that I will not need to find this, but and then I wanted to do, let's see, here's SD dot. Oh yeah, calibrate all. So we'll just let it just kind of do its whole calibration stuff. I don't know what that really exactly does, but you know, can't hurt. Alright, so now we're going to Charlie to write out some stuff. Yeah, in World War One, we saw radio being used for some things. That was being used by somebody that's going to come up here a little bit later. But during World War II, there was an uptick in radio operators, a significant uptick in radio operators, because they were doing radio detection and ranging, radar. And I mean, even the head of the MIT Rad Lab, Dr. Lee Dubridge, along with, I mean, many radio operators of the time, and I guess now as well, said the bomb may have ended the war, but radar is what won it. And let's see here. That's weird. Alright, so this is Charlie. I need to sv.hash. Yeah. So we get this, and I need to get out my notebook. Charlie. That's 020C4 for Delta 660. Cool. Easy. Oh wait, and then target. Papa. Great. Cool. Huh, okay. Windmills. Not windmills, but wind power generators. Go. Grabbing it, I'm not getting on it. All this really started with some articles in the German newspaper, which was then more or less re-reported in the New York Times in June 4th of 1928. Death rays from radio signals, and it's a quote from, I'm going to quote one of the German scientists talked about this. Quote, turned on to small living creatures, my rays cause an inflammation of the cells, which become deadly within 5 or 6 hours. I have no doubt that I have no doubt that the larger animals and even human beings would be affected in the same way. Heck yeah. We did jump there. Would be affected in the same way. Plants, when struck by my rays, die quickly, generally in less than 15 minutes. And to be fair, they also claimed, end quote, they also claimed that this allowed the sightless to see, it allowed the deaf to hear, and it allowed them to split the atom, which, you know, just normal grifter stuff, nothing too wild. Oh hey, there's a thing up here. Check this out really quick. There's a porta potty. Alright, what do we got here? Warmer, I think. 94. Okay, sure. What do we got here? We got a broom. We have some books. Oh, jeez. We have pillow. We have trash, paper. Grab it. An empty bag. Great. Tinfoil hat. Oh, I can put it on. Perfect. All right, I'll put that on. Hammer. I think that'll be very helpful. So fire extinguishers, paper, stickers. Not really much here. Not much. An explosive barrel. Oh. Drives. Okay, sure. It could be helpful. Gas can with not much fuel, not much fuel. That's something. What is that? Ooh. Welder. It's a bottle. Okay, so there's not much here. Okay, well, neat. At least I checked it out. I know what's here now. What's this? Transformer 1. Perfect. Okay, cool. It's a neat area. Anyway. So yeah, there was this reported death rays. And on 14th of October in 1934, H.E. Wimperis, the director of research at the British Air Ministry, had lunch with Archibald Hill, a biological secretary of the Royal Society. And the question... The question from Archibald Hill... Well, actually the question, I guess, from... I think it was from H.E. Wimperis, was, is this possible? Could this be a death ray? Could this be a real death ray that could work? And Wimperis didn't know. H.E. Wimperis did not know the answer to that, but he did know somebody that had, you know, it was saying radio death ray. Well, he knew somebody that had used the radio in World War One for detecting lightning. So, you know, he would be the right person to ask, right? It's sv.hash. Yeah. Let's get this. This is Papa. Yep. All right. 5F8361E6D. All right. Now we want to go to Kilo. But yeah, he knew somebody from that in World War One was using radio for detecting lightning strikes, and so and had continued doing research on radio. And that was Robert Watson Watt, a Scots physicist. So Wimperis reached out to Watson Watt and decided to pose a bit of an abstract math question. both Watson Watt and his assistant, Arnold Skip Williams. Wilkins, not Williams. This way. And the question roughly was as such. Just suppose, of course, that you have 8 pints of water 1 kilometer above the ground. Suppose this water was at 98 degrees Fahrenheit, and you wanted to heat it to a bit more. You wanted to heat it. Ooh. Where's a bridge? There's a bridge. You wanted to heat the water from 98 degrees Fahrenheit to 105 degrees Fahrenheit. How much of a radio frequency would it take to do this from a distance of, say, 5 kilometers? You know, purely hypothetical question. Definitely just a hypothetical. And what the heck was that noise? And so, yeah, they went back and did a bit of back-of-the-napkin math. The amount of power that they found that this would take to raise just 2 degrees from 98 degrees Fahrenheit to 100 degrees Fahrenheit would... It would take 5 gigawatts to a dipole of power to a dipole antenna. That's all of Britain's power generation times 2, because in 1920, Britain was able to generate 2.5 gigawatts of power. At the same time, the operators would also very likely perish. Even worse, much of the signal would be absorbed by the metal body of the plane and just re-radiated back out into the world. So you'd be spending a whole lot of power to not get very far. It just wasn't feasible. But Wilkins just didn't quite want to let that go. Because he thought about it. Re-radiate like an echo, a reflection. You know, with a large enough surface. A wingspan. You could set up a receiver and catch that reflection back, listen for that reflection. And so Watson Watt and Wilkins devised an approach using some of the newer radio technologies that were out there to be able to transmit and receive minuscule radio that was bounced back. Okay. Minuscule radio that was bounced back from planes. And so that timing, how long it took for the radio to get there and then come back again, could be used to figure out how far away something was. So they titled this Detection of Aircraft by Radio Methods. And presented that back again to Wim Pieris and the British Air Ministry. Go. Where's our download going? Oh, it's done. Fantastic. Alright, so save the signal. Let's play it while I... Huh? Sure. Alright, so let's grab this box. So we already gave them 2 signals. So I actually just need to take this, tear off this sheet. Yep, that's space noise, alright. Put this here. Take this back. Go. And then take this with us. Come back and we'll take care of some of that stuff. Alright. hungry. Alright. That out. What's this? Get a little more money. Let's close this up. Then, so we did this. Let's start a download really quick. Just go around here. Maybe we'll be good. Heck is that star? It's a weird looking star. See anything yet? No, not seeing it. Oh. There it is. Yeah, okay, cool. Alright, so how's this? Progress, 100%. Cool. So let's back. Alright, so I listened to that already. I don't listen to that again. What's that? What the? No, I don't want to place that. I wanted to place this drive. There we go. And then, alright, so I already we listened to that. Not super interesting. We'll take this. Okay. It's in here. Ooh. There we go. Slam it. Slam it. Alright, and that's down. That's going. Alright, so this. I think we're still waiting on those machines. So let's see here. I think I had some MREs here. Yeah. Tasty, tasty, tasty MREs. That's good. Okay, so now we are downloading the signal, so we will search for the polarity. Okay, it's not there, so we'll try here. Oh, yep, there it is. Fantastic. It's about between... Oh. Good enough. Not perfect, but you know, that's fine. Okay, so it's above 500 at least. There it was. Got noise? Noise. Sucks. This data sucks. Okay, thanks, Dr. Ina. Package has been okay. 0 points. Empty. There's no drives inside. Please do not waste it. Just it seems fine. Okay. Whatever. I'm pretty sure I gave you stuff already, so like, deal. Alright, so this is going. This is downloading. We're good. Alright, so I think we can do some cleanup now. Because we had all that done. And then it's getting a little dark, but it's not too dark. So I wanted... Let's see, we have 129. I could probably do some upgrades. In fact, you know what? I am going to do some upgrades. Remember there was the download speed and some other stuff probably. So... upgrades. Download speed, server stability, that sounds pretty good. Processing speed also sounds really good. Let's go with download speed. And a processing speed and a server stability. And get some trash out of the way. I remember I saw somewhere garbage? No. Trash? Trash? Garbage? Ah, garbage bags. Yeah. We'll order some garbage bags. Alright. So, let's get some of this trash out. I think that's what I'm going to do. I wish I could lock these doors open. Okay, well, I'll just... You know what? That's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to grab the stuff and pile it up near the door. up on that side. Oh, well, not exactly where I wanted it. Noise? Something out here? It's just regular noise stuff. I don't. The heck was that? Is it this? Oh. What is that? Oh, is that that's our, oh, okay. Yeah, that's what that is. That's our drone. That's kind of cool that it shows it. Kind of weird that it would ping me, but you know. Anyway, so yeah, after they gave this to the folks over at the Air Ministry wanted a demo. So, they did demo it. They were flying a Hayford bomber between a receiver and the 6 megahertz BBC signal. And sure enough, they were able to detect it, even using some pretty simple equipment, from 8 miles away. The Air Ministry was there to observe this demo, and they... whoa. That scared the heck out of me for a moment. That... Did I slip on the soap? Yep, oh god. No, get out of the water. Okay. I slipped on the soap with a weird noise that was very loud. Anyway, the Air Ministry authorized a full system to be created for this, and that project was led by Watt's assistant Wilkins. And what they ended up doing for the initial system was that they had 2 tall transmitter towers with antenna wires that were between them. And on June 17th of 1935, they were able to successfully detect a supermarine Scapa at 17 miles of range using this whole system. And you know, this wasn't the first time that you saw anything like this. In fact, the U.S. Navy was able to design and put together a comparably to this somewhat crude but still workable system in the 1920s, in 1922, I think it was. But the British... Oh. There you go, okay. Nope, I don't want to close it. The British were the ones to see its potential. Because what they thought, and what they did want to do with this, by the way, was to create a national advanced warning system of bombers from... particularly the German bombers that were absolutely just taking over in a lot of ways in Britain. And so if they were able to even just get any amount of warning that German bombers were on the way, they could scramble fighters and stop those bombers, maybe even thwart some of them even. It just, you know, at least you get somewhere. And so that was kind of the goal. This project was named Chain Home, and started with five systems, 5 antennas and transmitters and receivers. By 1937, Chain Home could detect out nearly 160 kilometers, and the goal was just to prevent unknown Western approaches to London. And yeah, it sent out a wide beam. I believe the beam was 6 to 25 microsecond pulses. You know, you think about it, a radio wave like that moves at about 300 kilometers. What the heck is that noise? This again? 3. No. That. This? Is it done? No. Oh, but I might be able to get one more before I go to sleep. Nice. Is it email? Okay, I have no idea what that noise was, but... Alright, sure. Is this saying it's done? Maybe it's this saying it's done. Cool. Does this sound any better now that we've cleaned it up? Kinda. Kinda. I mean, not much, but it still just sounds like space. Hey, another gas giant, I guess? Star? I don't know what it is. Great. Okay, well, space noises. Okay. Alright. Trash. We're starting to get a little sleepy, but it'll be fine. We're getting a little bit of trash here for sure. These radio pulses moved at 300 kilometers a second, which meant that the pulse was about 1.8 kilometers long. So that really was like the closest they could get as far as ranging, is a 1.8 kilometer. So you couldn't, like, you know, use it to fire off anything, like any sort of countermeasures. But it was at least good enough to know direction and, hey, something's on its way, which was really a big deal. Throughout all of this, a team member by the name of Edward Bowen was working on a smaller version, which he wanted to kind of refer to as a airborne interception. His objectives with this was to have it be under 100 kilograms of weight, taking up less than 500 watts of power, and to have a 1 meter antenna. The idea was, if you could make it that small, you could put one of these on a plane and take it with you, and be able to use this to provide more support elsewhere, and more readily out in the field. The initial development of this was a radio antenna on a Hayford bomber. They didn't even use an antenna. A transmitter. They used an antenna. They just didn't use a transmitter. In fact, instead they relied on ground transmitters to provide the radio signal that would bounce back towards them. Which is, I don't know, I think that's pretty neat. That system was very bad, though, at detecting planes. It really did not do a good job of... Weird lighting is messing with me here. Hey, this is almost done. It didn't do a very good job of detecting planes, but it did do a fantastic job of detecting ships. And yeah, so that's what it was being used for quite a bit. Anything in these? Nope. I also need to figure out how to get these open. We'll eventually need to do that. Oh yeah, trash. Get those bags that I ordered. I think are out here. Yeah. Sure is dark. Pretty though. Okay. Alright, scroll that. Oh yeah. How does this work? No, right click left. Oh. Bags left 12. Bags left 12. Okay. Need a... Okay, I can just do this. Okay, nice. Oh, this is going to take a long time. But I'll get through it. Eventually. Bags left 1. Bags none. Alright, well, I bagged some of it up. Fantastic. So radar used a wavelength that... Well, radar was used I swear I saw something. I think it's just the smudges. Oh my gosh. Oh, this is done. Save. Play. Yep. That's noise. Huh? Did I get this out? Yeah, I did. 'Cause it's... Right? You know, I'm just going to double check that I'm not going to, like, erase something. Yeah, okay. It's fine. This. Okay. And that, and... Cool. And then we're going to get one more and then go to bed. That's the plan. Let's see here. There is one down this way. I hope. Oh, yep, there it is. Great. No. Okay. Ping again. I don't know where anything is. Great. They're all somewhere else. But yeah, there was lots of radar scientists in the war that were working in radar operators. Just lots of radar operators, many of which that were not scientists. They were just people that were trained to use the radar systems. And a number of them independently made some discoveries. I'm not fine. Oh, I'm at the very bottom, so you know I'm gonna... A lot of them independently made discoveries that there was powerful radio emissions coming from the sun. You know... Oh, there it is. Please. No, apparently not. Invalid object. I don't know what that really means. Okay. There's another one still. Okay, there's one right here. It's very small. Very small. Okay, alright. I'm just not getting lucky. Anyway, from Star Noise, the book Star Noise, quote, until the wartime development of sensitive microwave receivers, the expected radio emission from the sun was below existing sensitivity levels. When George Southworth pointed his 5-foot diameter parabolic antenna at the sun, he detected a radio emission at 9,400 megahertz, 3.2 centimeters. And the following week, at 36... Oh, there it is. Following week, at 3060 megahertz. Perfect. 9.8 centimeters. Which he claimed to be close to the level expected from the 6,000 Kelvin sun. A year later, he successfully extended the measurements to 24,000 megahertz, 1.25 centimeters. In his 160 megahertz survey paper, Reber commented only in passing, in spite of daytime interference, he was able to detect radio emission from the sun, which he only noted, quote, had the rather surprising center intensity that he associated with the solar corona. Oh, cool. All right, let's get to bed before I fall asleep. Also eat a little bit. Okay, I'm getting very tired. Good enough. Alright. Start this going. Nope, it's not on this polarity. Not there. Oh, there it is. Great. All right, we're going to let that go. I'm going to go get some sleep. I'm actually going to eat this MRE that I remember I left over here. Get some sleep. But I will say that, you know, this leads to a boom in radio astronomy. More people know how to use radio equipment, and there is an extremely large amount of radio equipment that's available for cheap after the war. A lot of surplus army equipment. And so that leads us into the 1950s, where we start to really see a lot of the radio astronomy going. Yeah, and it's just an exciting time for everyone around then. So I'm going to get some sleep. It is nearly midnight, and I will see y'all in the morning. Yeah, have a great night.